Edward Powers, present. George Sibero.
Present.
Donna Tu.
Present.
Kathy Weiss.
Present.
Alex Figueroa.
Present.
We got a quorum.
All right. Before I get started, I just want to welcome our new trustees. We have George Sibero and Alex Figueroa attending the first meeting, and Mr. Durso, who is kind of a retread, but this is his second meeting.
Welcome.
But I would like to welcome them to the Nassau Community College Board of Trustees. As a retread. All right. What I'd like to do is we're going to call for approval of following sets of minutes. I'll do them in block. We're going to do this in accordance with Robert's Rules of Order to just get them off the block and get the full approval of the board. They had been sent to the board members previously for review, so I'm going to call for an approval of the January 9, 2018 minutes, March 27, 2018 minutes, May 8, 2018 minutes, and June 12, 2018 minutes. Do I have a motion to approve these? Motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstentions?
I'm going to abstain because I wasn't present on June 12th, and I'm uncomfortable voting for minutes, and I was not present.
Perfect. So the vote will go 8-4, none against, and 1 abstention. We're going to go to reports of the standing committees. Trustee DeGrace, would you be so kind?
Okay. Resolved upon the recommendation of the Nassau Community College Board of Trustees, Finance and Capital Committee, and the Nassau Community College Board of Trustees hereby approves the existing college procurement agreement with Condensed Curriculum International in the amount of $45,000 being increased to $300,000 as requested by interim VP of Academic Affairs Collins, funding source shared revenue agreement.
Do I have a motion to consider this item?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
And any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Motion carries 9-0. Trustee Weiss, would you be kind enough to just give us the resolve on the next item?
I would be happy to. Resolved that Nassau Community College Board of Trustees authorizes NCC administration to amend residency requirements for tuition purposes to make students from Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands who have been displaced by Hurricane Maria and Irma eligible for Nassau County resident tuition rates for the 2018-2019 academic year at Nassau Community College.
Do I have a motion to consider this item?
I'll move it.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstention? Motion carries 9-0. Trustee Jackson, would you introduce item number 4, please?
Resolved upon the recommendation of the Nassau Community College Board of Trustees, Finance and Capital Committee, the Nassau Community College Board of Trustees hereby approves that the rental fee be waived for use of Nassau Community College facilities in October 2018 in support of the fundraising event for the NCSY, a nonprofit organization dedicated to connect, inspire, and empower Jewish teens, and be it further resolved that all associated personnel and maintenance costs will be borne by the user.
All right, do I have a motion to consider this item?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Motion carries 9-0. Trustee Figueroa, would you be kind enough to read the next item?
Upon the recommendation of the Nassau Community College Board of Trustees, Finance and Capital Committee, the Nassau Community College Board of Trustees hereby approves that the rental fee be waived for use of Nassau Community College facilities in October 2018 in support of the fundraising event for EAC, a nonprofit organization that empowers, assists, and cares for people in need across Long Island and New York City, and be it further resolved that all associated personnel and maintenance costs will be borne by the user.
So do I have a motion to consider this item?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Motion carries 9-0.
Mr. Chairman, I just have to for the record, please, I have to recuse myself from the vote as a board member of the AC. Should be noted.
Okay, and we shall note that Mr. Durso, Trustee Durso is going to abstain from the vote because of his association with that facility. We're going to go on. Trustee Tuman, would you be kind enough to read the next item on the agenda?
Professor Emeritus, resolved upon the recommendation of Nassau Community College Board of Trustees Personnel, Affirmative Action and Labor Committee. The Nassau Community College Board of Trustees hereby approves that in recognition of distinguished and meritorious service to Nassau Community College, and upon the recommendation of the President of Nassau Community College, the following named retired faculty members of Nassau Community College retired after attaining the academic rank of professor or associate professor are hereby granted the permanent academic title of Professor Emeritus with all privileges and rights occurring thereto. Should I read our names?
Yes, we're going to have a reading at this time.
Betty M. Borowski, Jeffrey A. Cohn, Joseph S. Capolino, Fanny Davis, Carmine DeSanto, Wendy Eisner, Lyle Hallowell, Marquita L. James, Deborah Kimbo Lau, Barbara Lucas, Naomi Muhammad, Mary Kathleen Olakin, Maureen J. Palmieri, Dolores Smalls.
Do I have a motion to consider this item?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Motion carries 9-0. Let's round of applause for the Trustee Powers, would you be kind enough?
Yes, Presidential Search Committee, be it resolved that the name of Valerie Campbell shall be inserted in lieu of the name of Lori George as the designee of the Nassau Community College Alumni Association on the Presidential Search Committee. Be it further resolved that those appointed to this committee are considered volunteers and shall accept their position after agreeing that they are serving voluntarily.
Do I have a motion to consider this item?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstention? Motion carries 9-0. Do we have any other reports from the standing committees? Okay. I'm going to add another item onto the calendar. If we can, so I'm going to make a motion on the Article 8, Section C6 of the Board's Rules of Procedure to allow for the consideration of one item that did not appear on the calendar. I need a second.
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Motion carries. We're going to bring up the first reading of the amendment policy 6800. Trustee West?
Yes, this was discussed at the Policy and Planning Committee meeting, and the key highlights of it, the changes relate to the fact that this is recommending that we amend the policy that service contracts under $20,000 only need to be signed by the Vice President for that area, and that anything over that would be continued to be signed by the President. And then the other one, which is significant change, is the zero tolerance policy related to gifts, and that follows the executive order issued by the County Executive Laura Curran in May of 2018. Those are the two significant changes in the policy. So if the board has any questions, we did discuss this, but then it will come back onto the agenda for the October meeting for a vote, and then it will be effective as policy.
Okay. The next order of business is the election of officers for the 2018-2019 slate. I'm going to open up the nominations first for chair.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion that we keep the present leadership on our board as is, leave it the same.
Any further discussion on this? Any disagreement? Okay, if all are in agreement, we'll just take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Motion carries. The slate of officers will continue on for the 2018-2019 year.
Here, here.
We're going to go to the report of the president.
So let me first begin by welcoming Trustee George Ciberone. I'm pleased to look forward to working with you. I believe I welcomed Trustee Durso and Trustee Figueroa in the last meeting, but if I didn't, then the year is here for a new year, and look forward to working with you. Some good news that we got just earlier in the summer, but today we were permitted to publicly announce it. A grant from the state for $230,000 for a training program in the Workforce Development Office for employee or for individuals who may be employed in the utilities industry. Mostly it's the energy utilities, but also water, and so we're pleased to get that grant. The program has an acronym with a very long name, but the acronym is URGENT, and I think you probably have heard about it in the past. But it started out strictly for women who were either unemployed or underemployed. And so the first round, I think there are about 25 individuals who are trained, and most of them obtained full-time employment with the utilities, and most of the rest of them obtained part-time employment. So we're pleased about that. The program now goes on with an expanded scope of serving serving veterans, and so it's an excellent program. We hired a number of new personnel, which I've relayed to you in the communication, so I won't go through the list of the individuals, but I just want to say that we are really pleased at the quality of the individuals that we've been able to hire in about 7 or 8 administrative positions. And then we have also accommodated for the workforce development, not workforce development, but labor relations by some reorganization. And so we have appointed internally someone who has already accumulated lots of experience in that area, and that's Lori Pizzullo, who's here this evening. And so in addition to the 7 new employees, we've promoted Lori into that position of workforce of labor relations. So we're pleased about that. Today was our first day of classes, and the enrollment looks to be down again. We won't know officially for some time. We'll probably know pretty accurately by the end of the week, because there's still some signing up for classes and dropping, maybe a few students dropping. But so we'll know mostly by the end of the week. But it does look like that we are down by another, well, this morning the report was that we're down around 8% over last year, which is not good news for us. And then finally, I want to just say that internally we've had a great deal of discussion about the issues that confront us, especially about the causes of the drop in enrollment. We know that there is a national trend to drop in enrollment in community colleges. We think ours might be somewhat more severe in terms of the loss of enrollment than it is as a national trend. But we've decided that we will have a colloquium on this, and we've also let you know this in the past. The colloquium will be held on October the 5th, which is a Friday, in the multi-purpose room in the Campus Center building. And of course, you're all invited. We hope you can attend that. But we have groups that are working on making presentations on different aspects of this issue. And we're hopeful that, that coming from that meeting, we will have an agenda of things to work on to try to to impact this drop in enrollment that we've had in the past. And so it's a very serious matter for the college, and if we don't reverse it and it continues for another period of years, it'll just exacerbate our situation. So that's my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Dr. Key. We're going to go to the speakers list, and we'll start with the president of the NCC, Frank Presenda, please.
Hi, good evening. Frank Presenda, NCCFT. So first of all, let me welcome Alex Figueroa, welcome to the board. George to the room, welcome. Meet again. Nice meeting you. John, you were here last year, but I want to welcome you again. I've seen so many iterations of this table in my career here. It just, you know, I think back to the first time I ever came to a board meeting. I didn't, you know, it took a long time before I put my name on the speakers list. I always wondered, like, you know, who are these faculty members that have the chutzpah to stand up at a microphone and talk to these people? You make it so easy. Right? I want to say so. Thank you. So first of all, do we know approximately maybe how many students have taken advantage of the Puerto Rico or Virgin Islands have taken advantage of this, or is this just a good deed?
I do not think we have any number on that.
I think that's SUNY-wide throughout the entire system.
Okay.
So we're just, you know, parlaying into that.
Okay.
So we wouldn't have the data on anything other than here,
Right.
and I'm not sure that we have that data refined.
Okay. I was just wondering if there was any real, you know, happening. Okay. You know, I want to congratulate the faculty that are retiring on their emeritus status, and I'm really happy that Dr. Keene mentioned to you that we're working on an emeritus status for professional and other faculty on this campus, because some of these people have, well, most of them have served the college well, have served the college honorably for 30, 40 years. I think it would be nice, because I do think they deserve that honor. And thank you, Dr. King, for entertaining that discussion. One of the things I did want to mention, and I know that you pulled it off the agenda for tonight, but I think I do want to mention this, the media policy. Okay, and I just want to say to you, all right, I put it on my blog post today. I think it is really unfortunate that an outside group, fire in particular, has inserted itself into the business of the college. I think it's unfortunate that whoever incited fire to get involved in the business of the college. We have made enormous improvements and strides in developing a governance structure on this campus that works. And Dr. Keene has made it work. All right, we have a governance council. Dr. Keene is in constant communication with the NCCFT, the Senate. Dr. Collins in constant communication with the chairs, the AFA. And we have learned that we can trust each other. We learned that we can have honest discussions, okay? We can compromise on things and move things forward. And I think it was very foolish, very unwise, and very unfortunate that fire got involved. And I would hope that we could still work together, as Dr. Keene mentioned earlier in committee, that he still wants to talk about this, he still wants to review this. I know that we are part of that discussion, we being the faculty leadership on the campus, and I appreciate that, and I just want this board to know that how I felt about fire and their interference with our Otherwise, have a good evening. Welcome back.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
Steph?
I too would like to welcome the new members. I thank you, the board, the existing board, for all that you do, and the board as we move into the future, all that you will do. It is a new day and a new way on this campus. And to see the kinds of transitions that we've all taken under Dr. Keene's leadership and Dr. Garden's leadership and the leadership of so many on campus, it's truly gratifying to me. I'd like to double down on what Frank said regarding, and I'll use this term, the negative publicity, the undeserved publicity that we got in Newsday. The Governance Council, the new Governance Council, is a place where individuals and groups can go if they have issues with the college. It's a place where their issues will be discussed and listened to, and I just truly believe that adjustments will be made, changes will be made if the good case is made. The biggest problem that I have with those who went directly to the media is that they didn't come to us first. Give us a chance. Give us a chance to resolve the issues that you think are so important, that you believe are so important. And just to add one other thing to what Frank said, to me, the biggest piece of this Governance Council is that we really listen to each other. And through that listening, so often we move to principled compromises that have gotten to a better place, a much better place that we were in before the discussions started. So thank you very much for what you do. I love you guys.
Yes, I want to just make a comment about two issues. One is, we are here today because of the work that's been done by a lot of people on campus. And we had a report on the Middle States report. And those members are from the Institutional Planning Committee members, Middle States Monitoring Report Committee, Institutional Planning Committee, and Middle States Monitoring Committee members of the Governance Council. And I want to read out the names of the people because they are really deserving of respect and admiration for moving us to where we are today and where we're going forward. And nothing from outside of this institution, whether it be fire or any other organization, will ever have an effect on the community that we have here because we have a solid core of leadership. So if I could take a moment to just read the names of these members who have worked in this last year and a half to turn this college around with members of the administration and the board as a unified family. So Kim Ballerini, Allison Bresmer, Joe Belkite, Janet Caruso, Ronna Casiola, Richard Cohen, Valerie Collins, Maria Gonzatti, Rosemary Gerizzo, Darlena Dunbar, Tom Fernandez, Pamela Flores, Dave Folick, Frank Frazenda, Beth Gardino-Guerin, Robert Gettner, Donna Hope, Steph Crumpier, Rich Wallace, Noreen Lowy, Pat Lupino, Anissa Moore, Joe Mascarella, Gary Roulette, Ina Resnick, Nicole Simon, Deborah Spiro, Craig White, and Tina Widener. Thank you for the work that you members have done. So, with that being said, I welcome us all to this new year and for great things that are going forward for Nassau Community College. So the next Finance Committee meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, October 9th, 2018 at 5 p.m. followed by the full board meeting. The board will open the public session between 6:15 and 6:30 and resume public session at approximately 7:30. I request a motion to adjourn the meeting. Do I have a motion? Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Motion carries 9-0. Meeting adjourned at 8:17.